So one of my subscribers said, I have been a casual viewer of yours for years, watching a video here and there. Your cadence of speaking and calm, compassionate demeanor are very relaxing and make Shin Buddhist teachings accessible. I first learned about Buddhism years ago and attempted an ill-fated practice I quickly gave up on. When I first began practicing, I read as many sutras as I could and prematurely delved into dogma and scripture I didn't have the aptitude for. I worried about right actions, right ideology. I was judging myself for not acting or thinking, quote, Buddhist enough, and being impatient with my practice. The concepts in the scriptures were confusing, overwhelming, and led me to feelings of defeat and anxiety instead of peace. Now that I am older and of a sounder mind, I'd like to try again. I've yet to watch all of your Q&A, so apologies if this kind of question has been asked before. If it has, please let me know what videos I can watch to get a better understanding of your position. I am continually drawn back to Buddhism, Shin specifically, and want to give it a proper redo. But I want to be easier on myself so as not to cause undue anxiety and stress. As a beginner, from a Shin perspective, is it advisable to start with Nembutsu recitations and develop meditation practices before concerning myself with big ideas and self-discipline? And if feelings of self-judgment were to arise, could I regard Amita's vow as a safeguard against my own shortcomings? Is there solace to be had in Amita's vow as it pertains to fostering a lived, everyday practice? Or is the Nembutsu simply for the sake of going to the Pure Land after death? Thank you. So here was my reply. I said, thank you for your feedback regarding my speaking and recitation style. I would like to commend you for not having, quote, given up on Buddhism completely in the context of the frustrations you experienced in an earlier time of your life. I think being, quote, easier on yourself as you revisit the Dharma is a great plan. Now, as to your questions. I don't think you can go wrong by reciting the Nembutsu. I think meditation is fine for the purpose of establishing a more tranquil frame of mind, so long as you are not viewing it as a task on which you must judge yourself. Also, from a Shin Buddhist perspective, any such, quote, practice should not be taken up with the idea that you can, quote, achieve enlightenment via this as a self-power route. The same applies to big ideas and self-discipline. These are not requirements in Shin, though I myself do not see a problem in exploring them, again, so long as they evolve naturally in your life and are not viewed as necessary for salvation. In this regard, I strongly recommend that you review and reflect upon the content of the book called Tanisho. I have a playlist of recitations from that book, and I am sure there are versions online if you do not wish to purchase a copy. As for a feeling of self-judgment, I understand this feeling well, as I have been plagued with such feelings myself at various times in my life. The thing I tell myself, which is totally consistent with Shin doctrine, is that Amita accepts me just as I am. So to put it in your terms, the answer to whether Amita's vow is a safeguard is absolutely yes. The so-called solace to be had in Amita's vow is the assurance of rebirth. This is the same as the stage of non-retrogression that you read about in the sutras. The impact on everyday life can be to free oneself from the self-judgment to which you refer, and to realize that no negative karmic actions on your part can keep the vow from being effective. Given that truth, I think that this belief system helps one to actually focus more effectively on living a life of kindness and compassion toward others. Amita and the various Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Dharma masters become role models, although we maintain a deep and abiding humility about our own ability to approximate their ideals. I hope this helps a little, and unless you object, I may use our dialogue to make a Q&A video at some point. In Gassho, John.